Hey, teddy bear.
Hey, Dad. She felt the familiar warmth spread through her at the sight of him, at the sound of his voice. Tony was watching her with such tenderness. The ice block of heartache she had carried inside for the past few weeks seemed to melt a little when she was with him.
I heard shouting yesterday. Is everything all right? Why do you look so sad?
The mask she was trying to put on didn't fool him. He was so tuned into her feelings, he instantly knew something was wrong. How did she tell him about Windsor and about Nate? He'd been through so much. How did she bring up what was possibly the most painful period of his life? She shrugged and shook her head. Tell me a memory. Something to cheer us both up.
I know just the thing.
He reached for her hand and squeezed it.
One day your mother came home with a bucket full of kittens.
A bucket full of kittens?
She found 7 of them by the side of the road. Someone must have dumped them. She didn't want them to get scared in the car, so she placed them in a bucket and walked 2 kilometers home while they meowed and tried to escape. They scratched her all over, but I'd never seen her so happy.
What happened to them?
We kept them.
All 7?
All 7. Your mother and you couldn't resist their pretty little faces, and I could never say no to you.
What did we call them?
Pluto.
What about the other 6?
You named them all Pluto. You were obsessed with the cartoon. You said the name suited them.
We tried to point out they were cats and not dogs,
but you thought they were playful and fun, just like your favourite character, so they all became Pluto.
That's a wonderful memory, she whispered.
We were so happy then, the 3 of us.
How old was I?
8 or 9.
He turned his own brave face to her, but just like him, she could see right through it. The 4 of us, you mean?
He looked up in surprise, but didn't say a word. She added,
I know about Nate. Something seemed to shut down in his eyes at the mention of her brother. Claire could no longer read him.
Did you remember something? He asked.
The police mentioned him the last time they were here. Why haven't you told me about him?
Your brother died in a fire 10 years ago when you were 16. I didn't want to tell you and break your heart all over again when there is so much already on your mind.
She shuddered, not so much at his words as the expression of doubt and sheer heartbreak on his face. All this time, I thought I was an only child. She had lost a brother. She didn't even want to imagine what that must have been like. But her father had lost a son. She took his hand, brought it to her face and kissed his rough skin. Were we close?
He loved you with all his heart, and you loved him.
There were tears in his eyes. She moved her chair closer, moved herself closer, so she could hold him and make it all better.
It was a tragic accident. Your mother and I were away on a romantic weekend. Only half an hour away, and yet we didn't know what happened until we got back. That's what kills me, that we went hours without knowing. We were still happy and he was already gone.
What happened?
Our house caught fire while Nate was asleep inside. Faulty wiring. I pray it was quick. I pray he didn't suffer. Every day of my life I thank God you were at a friend's house that night.
Claire wished she could inject herself with memories so she wouldn't feel so empty and confused. What was he like?
He was very much your mother's son.
I'm so sorry, Dad. How do you live with something like this? How do you get over it?
You don't, not really. It stays with you forever. Like your mother's death will stay with us forever. But as long as there is love in your life, it's worth living. And my life is filled with love because I still have you.
Poor Mum, she whispered. Poor you. I'm so sorry, Dad. She sobbed in his arms and he stroked her shoulders, gentle touches that made her feel like she wasn't alone.
Our family has been through a lot, but we've always been there for each other. We've always been close, and now there's only you and me. Just the 2 of us left.